The following game contains explicit sexual content and is intended for adult audiences only. This game's story includes difficult subject matter not suited for all audiences. Hey, welcome back to Let's Read Under Heaven, and this will be the second episode now. It's been a little bit since I've done my first episode, but I've been playing a little bit of Silent Hill 2, and I'm ready to do a little reading again. Last time we had a bad day at work. We've figured out that our boss is a ginormous piece of shit, and um, and Julian does not stand up for himself very much, which is disappointing. But this is the character we find ourselves in. And we came back home because we felt like shit. We took a rest. And we woke up to a party. And then we went outside and had a long discussion with Amir. And then he invited us into our room. And as I suspected, there was a sex scene, and I read that off camera. And this is after it now, what you're seeing right now. And just to avoid getting my video age gated, even if I censored it, just to avoid getting my video age gated, I just skipped over and read it on my own. And if you at all want to go see that for yourself, if you are 18 plus, you can go download the game yourself, and you can support the creator. But anyways, we are Julian, and we are sneaking out of his room right now and going to our own room. His quiet chuckle follows me as I dart out, keeping my steps light and doing my best to carefully close the door behind me without a sound. As silly as it is, there's something transgressive and freeing in the short dash to my room. I open and shut my door with the same quick care. My clothes land carelessly in the laundry. I'll deal with everything else tomorrow. I roll over onto my bed, too overstimulated and overheated to want to crawl under the covers just yet. The warm, companionable glow of the whole evening settles somewhere in me, where I try to hold it close to me and never let it leave. The day flashes through me, all the frustration and stress and terror and pain and solitude and friendship and pleasure all mingle together indistinguishable. My mind won't settle, and I think on it all, on Lark's thoughtful, focused questioning of me, of everything, on Alex's simple joy at living, on Amir, rough and dependable and so terribly resigned, and on Derek, loved by Amir, missing now, missed by him. My wandering mind returns to Lark's question in the exchange. My frustration with my own art, the tinkering and manipulation of it without quite finding its purpose, still itches at me. And what would I do if I won the lottery anyway? Tiredness weighs my limbs against the bedspread. Nothing that I feel or think can find the shape of an answer, whatever the real question is, the one I'm silently asking myself. I don't know the question. I don't have an answer. I have only a wish. Please let this place, these people, let everything and everyone here that is so dear to me, let them be safe. Let them be well. Half in my dreams, the wish rises from me, lifting from our small house to drift and linger amid the false stars. My eyes are closed before I can see whether it will be granted. Oh, we're back at work. The next few days are uneventful. Work, mercifully, has calmed down a bit by the time I get back. I'm only on 4 drones today, pretty much all sanitation. I can take my time. That gives me enough spare bandwidth to sideload an audiobook. It's a fantasy novel, following this dog raised in a kingdom of wolves, who's in the process of becoming a knight, right up until when she... Huh, weird. Shouldn't have been a power issue or anything. That drone had a decent amount of charge left. Russell, one of my drones just dropped out. One of the smaller ones. A detail scrubber. It was on, let's see, Estes Street. That's right near my place. Julian, I've warned you about running the drones for too long at low power. Christ. Take a look at the logs. I don't think it was that. Anyway, I'll get a ticket in with maintenance and retrieval. Wait. Let's not bother them if we don't need to. Did you say it was near where you live? I have a bad feeling about this. Oh, is he gonna go make him pick it up? He's like, go get it so I don't have to pay the maintenance guys. Don't get a bad record. Yeah, like a block away, but repair isn't really my... And it was a detail scrubber, right? Big guy like you could carry that easy. Don't call me that. Yes, but... Well, you've been working hard. Why don't you take off early? Just grab it on the way home and bring it with you on your next shift. Now I get it. He thinks he can fix it and doesn't want to drop out to show up on his metrics. I think he said the dropout? Yeah, the dropout. Okay, Russell, I won't file a ticket, but I'm still logging that it dropped out. That, of course, yes, that makes sense. He sounds annoyed. Well, I'm not taking the fall if this doesn't work out. But I won't turn down getting out early either. Sounds like a plan. I'm pulling out then. I'll see you later. Of course. I engage the disconnect, passing control of my remaining drones back into the queue. Full consciousness is a welcome relief. Eustace is only a block away from home. I've got the coordinates where the drone went down overlaid on the map from my mobile interface, so it should be pretty simple to find. It's one of the big quarterly rains, scheduled to run for the entire day. I'm dressed appropriately with an umbrella, but some water still managed to seep into my socks. Still, even if I have the location, the drone's not very big. It docks with one of the larger street cleaners, just handles statuary and gutters, that kind of thing. For all the rain making my feet damp, at least it made cleaning a bit easier. Just had to hit the things the rain alone can't handle. I reached the point where we lost contact and... nothing. Maybe some kids broke it and stole it? Or someone found the well looking for easy scrap. I'd be surprised if that happened around here. So far from the elevator, but I've read the articles about people climbing up. Always sounded like bullshit scare stories for people living in the Reef, but what do I know? Desperate people do desperate things, I guess. I really don't feel like dealing with however Russell's going to play this if I can't find it. I scan my surroundings, but it's hard to make out much through the heavy rain. Something catches my eye in a nearby alleyway. I step towards it to take a closer look. My gasp chokes me, and I freeze. There's a person. They're bleeding. They are lying so still. Hey, are you alright? I hurry over and crouch down, touching their shoulder. Hey, buddy, come on, can you hear me? Shit. I scramble to make the call through my interface, my heart pounding in my throat. You've reached Medigo... That's such a weird word. Megiddo. You've reached Megiddo emergency. Hey, I'm right near Eustace and... gosh, I'm trying to act it out on the fly, and it's really hard. You've reached Megiddo emergency. Hey, I'm right near Eustace and Elm in an alleyway. I've got somebody down and injured. They're not... We are experiencing higher than normal call volumes. Your call is important to us. You are currently number 22 in the queue. If you have a priority queue ID, please enter it. Holy shit, they have a queue system in their emergency contacts? Holy shit, that's so awful. Oh my god. Okay, I just had to mention that. I just had to acknowledge that. That's awful. God damn it. I kill the call quickly and make another one. Amir, fucking pick it up. Julian, I'm like a block away. I'm sending my location. Grab the first aid kit and get over here as fast as you can. I've got somebody injured. Shit, okay, on my way. See you soon. I strip off my raincoat and try to wrap it as hard as I can around the guy's arm. He's wearing a hospital gown? The front is stained with blood and sodden with rain, and he's got blood on his other hand too. He must have been trying to put the pressure on his wounds before he passed out. I do my best to compress his arm. The rain beats down on me. I look up and flinch against the harsh headlights of the approaching... No, wait. Surely that's not... It has to be. It's the drone I was looking for. The drone that I was controlling. It's looking right at me. It shouldn't be here. It's not out of power, and there shouldn't be connection issues around here unless... Here, I want to look. Okay, so it's literally like a little... It's got like the little scrubbers down below and stuff. Okay. I had to remove the text to see what it looked like, because I thought it was just like a random ball or some shit like that. Unless it wasn't moved. Unless it moved under its own power while I was supposed to be controlling it. That's not possible. Just as soon as that thought occurs to me, it shuts down, the headlights dimming to standby. I didn't just imagine that, did I? But before I can linger on it, I hear approaching footsteps. Julian, where's... What the fuck? Don't just stand there, where's the injury? It's the arm here, I tried to wrap it. Amir and Lark hurry close and kneel. Lark opens the first aid kit as Amir gently unwraps my coat and winces at the damage. God, did somebody go after him with their teeth? He's in for some ugly scars. Let me just see if I can clean it. Aren't we not supposed to move him? Did you call emergency? I tried, they put me on hold. Well, what if whoever did this is still around? We need to call the police. And I'm sure they'll be of great help in shooting his arm back together. Amir, hold him steady. Julian, I need you to help me with the skin. What? Some of these bigger gashes, you need to hold the wound closed. Lark removes the wound sealant from the kit, popping the cap off. Right, shit. I draw closer to the stranger, a wolf, and take his arm into my hand. I don't know how to tell how serious the injury is. There's so much blood and something Dude, don't pass out. Not now. It's not the time. Julian, if you can't do it, then step back. I blink and realize I feel faint. Fuck, I'm sorry. Be sorry later. Step back. Amir, get his arm. I shuffle back ashamedly, letting the two of them tend to the stranger while Alex keeps lookout and paces nervously. My injured pride isn't what matters right now, but my ears burn with my own uselessness. At least I made the call, I guess. My eyes are unfocused, swinging around, looking anywhere but at the man. They alight on the drone, and the sight of it steadies me. While they are busy, I step over to where it's drowned. Did I really see what I thought I saw? I reach out through my mobile interface. I can get at least limited connectivity to the drone wirelessly, and I'm relieved to find my login works. But there's nothing there. No explanation. The logs have been wiped clean. Okay, got a diagnostic back from his interface. I think we're safe to move him. His arm's going to be the least of his concerns if we just leave him in the rain. Julian, can you help? Yeah, sorry again. It's fine. Here, get his other side. I leave the drone for now. I'll come back for it later. Together, we manage to lift the stranger, and the 4, now 5 of us, start heading back to the house. But even beyond the oddity with the drone and the frustration at my own freezing up, I'm bothered. Maybe it's just my imagination, but that wolf, I can't shake the feeling. Why does he look so familiar? It seems my guesses were sort of correct. It seems that this is someone that he used to know. I still want to know if he is the guy who disappeared at the intro of this game. I dream like cavernous stone, still and perfect. The things I once was are no more. All is peaceful now, all quiet, all unmoving. Pain and desire are denied their domain at last. But even stone in time may shift. Outside me, something stirs. The muddied waters of the world above will be denied no longer. They carve through me, swelling the lightless rivers within to flow anew. The things of that world, its drowning loudness, its ceaseless, maiming turbulence, its pitiless and sharpened light, all of these things God damn it. All of these things I had gladly surrendered. But I am stone no more. I am returned to flesh, blind and scarred and grasping amid the unseen currents. Urged and weak, there is only one path upwards. I reach unthinking. Once again, my only option is to climb. Or is to... because I had that one option before at the beginning. It was something like descend, I think. Water. From where? I'm too weak to stir, just able to extend my tongue. It flicks weakly across my upper lip, sodden and beaded with moisture. It's unpleasant, chalky and chemical. Ah, who could forget the bitter rain of Megiddo? Beneath it lies something else, coppery and vile. I am aware of myself as an indistinct cloud of aches. Each ragged breath returns the shapes of my body to me. I shift, my paw brushing against some rough texture. Cushion? Guys, he's waking up. Wait, are we... Wait a minute. Wait. Hang on. I knew it. I think we're the wolf now. The color of the text box changed on the left right there. You see it turned green to blue. I noticed that a second ago, but I didn't say anything. Yeah, I think we're him again. Okay. Let me get back to where I was here. My eyelids stick together. I reach up to wipe them, then recoil and wince as a white, hot bolt of pain shoots down my arm. What the fuck happened to me? My other arm is shaky and unsteady as I reach up to clear my vision. Yeah, we're him now. So, are we going to be swapping POVs throughout this game, or are we going to be permanently him now? That's what I want to know. Because we're looking at the person we've been for the last for the last few days in this game. I'm surrounded. I try not to panic, even as I feel my breathing quicken. It says question mark, but we know who he is. Well, You're either lucky or very unlucky. You're either very unlucky or very unlucky. Hard to say if it would have bled out if Julian hadn't found you, but I wouldn't bet on those odds. Lark, Jesus, he literally just woke up. Hey, are you alright? You were hurt pretty bad. So, I kind of like set Julian as my normal voice, like just speaking. And I kind of shift my voice a little bit when talking to, I don't know what I'm going to do for this guy yet. His name's Ash, so I don't know yet. Maybe I'll just do my normal voice. My mouth doesn't obey me. I swallow the sensation, dry and unpleasant. Back up, give him some space. Shit, right. What? Where am I? Why does that elk look familiar? Well, you're on a couch. You're on our couch, man. It sounded like you got roughed up or something. Or something. Open your right arm up. Open your... Or something. Open your arm right up. It was pretty rough looking. Somebody bite... Okay, that's because that was a misspell. That messed me up, because it's supposed to be bit. It was pretty rough looking. Somebody bit a chunk out of you. I try to recall. There's a sudden vertigo when I find nothing. I should be able to answer that question. Sorry, I don't know. Don't recall much. I don't know what would have done this. I glance down at my arm as I try and fail to sit up. Jesus, they weren't kidding. The elk steps forward as he sees me fall. Here, I'm fine. I'm not. But I grit my teeth and slowly struggle upwards anyways, the world lurching nauseatingly as I force myself to sit up. I can barely lift my head, so I rest it back against the couch cushion to look at my rescuers. Seriously though, you don't know? Look, if you're on something, it's cool. We're not cops. The edges of my lips quirk upwards. Good to know those muscles still work, I guess. Me neither, but I really don't remember. I mean, hey man, if you don't want to talk about it, just say so. I'm not lying. It comes out more forceful than I intended to. I sigh, rubbing my forehead. Sorry, I'm trying to be helpful, but I don't know. Well, you don't seem like you're on anything. You're too lucid to have been blackout drunk that recently. Your pupils aren't blown out. I would guess something medical with that gown you're wearing, but... That what? I look down. I'm dressed in one of those disposable gowns they wheel you off to surgery in. What the hell? I don't know what this is. I don't know where it came from. There's a note of growing panic in my voice. I tamp down on it, forcing my arms to lap rather than wrapped around my body to protect me from these strangers. Hey, you've been through a lot. Can I get you some water or something? I peer at him closely. I feel that nagging familiarity again. Something coming back to me. Wait. Oh my god. Julian, is that you? To the anime. Oh! Go! His expression freezes. I see flashes of familiar emotion, confusion, and a spark of recognition. And then utter shock. Wait, Ashley? I wince, less internally than I wanted to. Didn't need that right now. Oh no, did he dead name him? Oh shit. Oh man, that sucks. It's Ash, just Ash these days. It's not exactly hard to notice my deeper voice or leaner torso. He opens his mouth and then closes it without speaking. visibly struggling to reorient himself. A moment later, he finds his words. Got it, sorry. It's fine. Though, about that water, if you've got painkillers or anything, I'd be grateful. I've got it, one sec. The cougar scratches uncertainly behind his ear as the wolverine heads off. Wait, hold up, y'all know each other? Yeah, I mean, God, yeah. We've known each other since we were kids, but it must be, what, 8 or so years since we've talked? 8 years. Something about that bothers me, but it gives me a foothold, something to start finding myself with. 8? It hasn't been that long, has it? 7 or 8, maybe? Closer to 9, if anything. Here. He sets a glass and some capsules on the coffee table. It's cool to the touch, and I realize I'm thirsty. Appreciate it. The first sip of cold water is life-giving. As I swallow the pills, I try to do some mental math. It takes some effort, but the effort itself and the water feel like they sharpen me. No, it's only been about 6. It was, what, early junior year of high school that me and Dad ended up moving? Right, so 8 years? That he's managing to mess up such basic math annoys me. I think he doesn't realize I don't think Ash realizes what year it is. And so he's like, he's like, why the fuck why are you doing this? This is the time. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Count again. Oh, I went back. Yeah, it's 8. My brow furrows and I run through it again. It's not. Ash, what day is it today? It's, I don't know, late May-ish? Yeah, late, I love that. I love Lark's sprite there, and the fact he's like, what? What year? 2247. So, we're both supposed to be class of 2242. I guess I should say 2242. Yeah, but it seems better to say 2242 because that's how the future is. It's like 2242. So, we were both supposed to be class of 2242. 1 year before that was 2241. 7 minus 1 is 6. Like I've been saying. No, Ash. It's February 5th, 2249. The statement careens cleanly off my skull, my mind refusing to accept it. But it's still hanging in the air a moment later, the 4 of them staring at me, and the expression on my face like I've completely lost my mind. That's... Well, never mind about being lucid. Lark! I'm just saying... holy shit, dude. He's gonna need... Their voices swell around me and start running together. I can feel myself teetering on the brink, threatening to fall back somewhere terrible and empty. I grit my teeth. My claws nearly pierce my palms. I muscle through it. I won't let them see me like this. Hey! Do you have a shower I could use? I feel like I got dragged through a garbage dump. Yeah, all the bedrooms, just use mine. 2nd floor, end of the hall. Thanks. I move to stand. The room whirls. Julian catches me as I stumble. Ash, are you... I'm fine. I feel lightheaded. My heart is pounding almost painfully in my chest. I'm not sure if you're fine. Just a little unsteady. Look here. I'm too worn out to protest as he gets his arm around my torso to support me. It's at least something to lean against. He's warm. You good? Think so. Come on, one step at a time. His bulk makes it a bit awkward to move two abreast up the stairs. Abreast. Another word I'm going to look up. Abreast is side by side facing the same way. Okay. His bulk makes it awkward to move two abreast up the stairs. Slowly, we manage. We turn the corner on the upper landing and he ushers me into his room. I manage to at least mostly walk under my own power. Okay, something I want to say real quick. My favorite thing when I'm reading is when I encounter a word that I've never seen before and then I have to go look it up real quick. Like, it's always my favorite thing. I'm reading a physical book right now. I'm reading Annihilation, and that happens a lot too. Like, there's just a bunch of words that I've never seen before, and I have to look them up, and it's always really fun. But imagine reading before the internet, and you just get to that word, and you're just like, what does that mean? I hope I have a dictionary that has the word in it. I don't glimpse much of his room before we make it into the bathroom. He helps me sit down, still clothed, on the toilet. I take a minute to catch my breath. Are you, sure you're good to shower? We don't have a bath, but last thing I want is to stew in all this. I'll shower sitting if I have to. He doesn't seem too certain about that. I keep from snapping at him, but God, I want to be alone right now. He seems to take the hint. Alright, just please shout if you need anything, okay? I'll see about finding you some clothes. That sounds good. And thanks. It's nothing, really. He departs, shutting the door behind him. I turn the handle to start the shower, then sit heavily on the toilet as I'm finally alone. Whatever this gown I'm wearing is, it gets crumpled up and tossed in the corner. I rest my forearms on my thighs. This doesn't make any sense. People don't just forget 2 years and then wake back up. That doesn't happen. I could eat, but I'm not hungry. So I must have eaten recently. I must have been eating for the last 2 years. My hackles raise. My claws dig into my palms. They've been growing. My fur's been growing. From what? My own body is suddenly and uncomfortably alien. A wave of nausea washes over me. Was I scavenging somehow? Was I held somewhere? Force-fed? That's what I'm thinking, because he's in the gown. Like he was held in some, like, weird fucking secret evil hospital or something like that. Oh, I didn't read that. Wait, was he able to reach over to the nozzle of the shower from the toilet? I don't think you could reach that far. Whatever. Perspective is weird. I slip from the toilet to the floor, turning and gripping the seat just in time as I retch. Oh, damn. Oh, maybe he... Oh, okay, yeah, he just fell. Yeah, okay. I'm able to keep from fully vomiting, but what little fluid I disgorge burns the back of my throat as I do best to spit it out. That's another word. That's another weird word, but I do actually know what that means. You can pretty much guess. It's like a weird way of saying discharge. Some part of me almost tries to push for it, as if I might find some sort of answer staring back at me afterwards. I squeeze my eyes shut, feeling cold sweat on my back. Water. I need water. I shift unsteadily to my feet, leaning down to cup water from the sink and spit the vile taste from my mouth. I take a few gulps of clean water afterwards before shutting off the tap and leaning against the sink. And then I make the mistake of looking up. And that's where this art comes from. Fuck, his arm's all fucked up. Yeah, so when I first heard about this game, the first build was coming out, and I think this was the art that was used for it, I think? Or it's either build 2, maybe? Which is really sad to think that we're... Because I think there's only 3 builds so far, and that means we're only on build 2 so far. It's like, at any moment, the game's gonna hit me with the dreaded to be continued. But yeah, he doesn't look good. Jesus. No wonder Julian was so concerned. I look like shit. No, worse than that. I look pathetic, feeble, helpless, and weak. Easy to take pity on. Are those eyes really 2 years older? They don't look any different to me. And yet my gaze strays downwards. The scars beneath my pectorals are thinner and fainter now. Any other time and I would have been happy, but everything about the situation comes washing in again, threatening to pull me under. This can't be happening, except that it is. I strain myself, trying to remember something, anything. I was lying down, wrapping myself in a blanket. No, it's Harp. Called it! I knew this was the guy at the intro. The recollection drifts from me before I can get anything concrete. God damn it! Deep breaths, Ash. Pull yourself together. So, he connected himself in, but does that mean that someone found him at one point while he was still under and took him somewhere? Because now we need to actually, because now we know that this is the same guy, but now we need to actually know, like, what happened to him this 2 years. Because there's, it's like, he obviously was kept alive somehow. Oops. Whatever this is, I'll face it. You're not going down without a fight. You're not going to give in. And you're not going to collapse and have a big weepy pity party on Julian's bathroom floor. So grit your teeth, harden the fuck up, and take this one step at a time. I do really like how they made it so the one mirror door was slightly ajar. So like his face was like disjointed between them. It's really cool piece of art. And the first step is going to be a shower. I turn up the heat on the water before taking a deep breath and stepping in. The heat scourges me and I welcome it, turning it higher still as I try to catch my breath. Head bowed, eyes closed, jaws wide and panting raggedly, I let the spray pound against me. I slowly still the trembling in my treacherous limbs. Water runs down my body, cleansing me of unknown sediment. I stand still under it. I stand still until it runs clear. Sometime later, I crack the door into Julian's room and end up wedging it against a neat pile of clothing just in front of the bathroom door. Yeah, so I was wondering what this door to the right was before. I think this is his bathroom door, or maybe it is his hallway door, but I've kind of so far been thinking that like the hallway door is behind the POV of where this image is, and that makes sense to me to be the bathroom door, I think. It looks close enough to my size, solves one problem, I guess. There's also a spare interface. I slot that into the base of my skull before anything else. It's been factory reset. Strange that they can afford to just have a spare lying around, but that's not really the most urgent question I have right now. The upper floor is eerily quiet as I step out into the hall. All of the bedroom doors are closed. It must be pretty late. I feel awkward standing around in a stranger's home. Maybe thinking of Julian as a stranger at this point is unkind. Then again, maybe it's not. It's been 8 years. The sounds of a TV from downstairs at least give me something to steer towards. Okay, and now we're Julian again. This is weird. So we're gonna be swapping POVs, which is interesting, and we'll get to see a sprite of Ash. I flip through the channels listlessly, but I'm not really paying any attention. It's so much to take in all at once. Ash still being alive would have been a shock by itself. But on top of that, there's the missing memory, and, well, the fact that I correct myself, ashamed of not getting it right before realizing I'm not even sure has changed. Um, so I'm wondering if, because we had that conversation outside with Amir in the last episode about him having a missing friend too. And I wonder, so far I'm guessing that there's some, like, here's my theory so far without, like, actually, knowing a whole lot. I'm thinking that there's some weird organization. Like, I really think that this society that they built probably has a lot of fucked up things in it because, like, we have that shitty boss, and then on top of that, we have queue times for um queue times for calling emergency services and an option to get through the queue, presumably if you're richer. So I'm assuming that this is very much a society that could be corrupt in some way, probably is corrupt, and has some secret organization where people disappear to, or I'm just totally overthinking this and Amir just has a lost friend. But that's where I'm going with this. That's where my mind goes with this. What happened? Where have they been? Are they okay? I don't know how to deal with it all at once. And I can't even imagine how they must feel. But I know that if I were in their shoes, I would not want some answers. Or I would want some answers. So here I am waiting for them, I guess, even though I should really be in bed by now. My ear twitches as I catch footsteps coming down the stairs. There he is. They look better, at least. Hey. Or, my voice is more soft. I do like a deep voice. Hey. Hey. An uncertain silence stretches out. Right, there's at least simple things I can tell them. Sleeping arrangements. Look, I didn't exactly get the chance earlier, so thanks. I don't know what happened, but it sounds like it could have been a hell of a lot worse if you hadn't found me. And also, thanks for the clothes. You've all been more than kind, and you don't owe me anything, so I should probably just get going. They can't be serious. What? Jesus, no. I mean, not that you can't. You can, obviously, but we all talk things over. If you're saying you really don't remember the last 2 years, then you don't even know where to go back to. And besides that, you're hurt. It's not the comfiest thing in the world, but we've got the couch. You're welcome to crash here for tonight. Tomorrow morning, I figured we can reach out to your dad. His expression darkens. No. Sorry, that's not an option. Wait, what? There's a story there, and it's obviously not one they want to talk about. I pick my words carefully. Okay, in that case, the other idea was, well, that I can walk you to the clinic nearby. Maybe it's just my imagination, but they seem to bristle at that. Look, I'm not going to pretend that I really know what's going on, but you're hurt bad, and that's just your arm. Besides the whole situation. I have the day off. It's no trouble, really. It takes them a moment, but they seem to ease a bit. That makes sense. And, thanks again. It's nothing. That same awkward silence descends again. There's a rough and jagged chasm of years between us in that small room. I'm not sure if I can say I actually know the person in front of me anymore. They've clearly been through horrible things. Maybe things that I don't have any particular right to know. Is it just sentimentality to want to help them? Can I really say that I would do the same if they were a complete stranger? I don't know what it is that I hope for, but I can only take things one step at a time. We can talk tomorrow too. I'd like to catch up. It's been forever. But it's late. Guess it's a busy day tomorrow, so I'm probably going to head up. Let me know if you need anything. Will do. See you tomorrow, Ash. See you tomorrow. I get up from the couch, the stairs squeaking slightly under my bulk as I climb upwards. There's really nothing to distract myself with as I turn in, and so I end up just lying in bed and staring at the ceiling. How much have things changed in just the last 12 hours? Maybe not that much if Ash ends up moving on quickly. It might all just be a strange one-off incident. Nothing more than a good story once the shock is worn off. And we both know that isn't going to be the case because this is a story and it has to have a conclusion. Somehow, I don't think life will be so simple. Okay, you basically just did what I did. It's like, somehow I know that this won't go over so easily. But, for some reason, that fact doesn't bother me as I begin to drift off. That night, I dream of rain. The sun's still ascending towards the roof of the dome when we start walking over to a nearby diner that Julian swears by. He recommends the hash browns. It's his treat, not that there's any alternative. Man, I want some hash browns now, god damn it. I managed to access my account since slotting the second-hand interface. Doesn't look like I mysteriously made my fortune while I was missing. Flat zeros across the board. Oh, this is such a cool background. I really like this game's drawn backgrounds. They're really good. In general, this game's art is really good so far. More artists to follow on Blue Sky. At least the diner itself doesn't go too hard on the retro aesthetic. I always found that sort of thing depressing. How many decades have we spent imitating a dead world, and not even most of it at that? Just a single cup of water drawn up from the ocean, sealed down here in the dark to grow stagnant. We slide into a booth in a quiet corner. I am more than hungry. I'm starving. I think I'd kill someone for a stack of pancakes. But my arm's still fucked up enough that I wouldn't exactly be able to eat them without somebody else cutting them up. I get the breakfast burrito. Julian gets a plate of sausage, eggs, and, of course, hash browns. Pretty good coffee. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there's some actual coffee shops around here. But the coffee here's better than it has any right to be for the price. It's kind of a funny story. I asked the staff one time if there was anything they put in it. It threw me off because... Okay, yeah. It's kind of a funny story. I asked the staff one time if there was anything they put in it. I feel like the flavor's just a little out there. But the guy I talked to said it just arrives here in cartons from corporate. He had no idea. Huh. Yeah. They put something in the coffee to make you forget. I don't even know how I got here. So, can we talk? Yeah. There's a lot I'm curious about. Not just the last 2 years, but before that, when you originally went missing. I suck air through my teeth. There's no squirming out of this one. I guess I owe you an apology. You guess? Well, that's the guess? How do you or don't you? That answer needles me, and I know I'm being shitty before I even open my mouth. If you're going to be like that, then I don't. Be like what? Jesus Christ, I just want to know what happened. My best friend in the whole world moves away. He stops responding to anything I send. I get worried enough to reach out to your family, and they say you're just gone. I was supposed to just not care? We had a funeral for you, Ash. That one bites deep, and I probably deserve it. The image isn't hard to conjure, and I remember how he was back then. Poor Julian, too small for the other kids at first, and then too sensitive and too obviously gay even after he hit his growth spurt. But I'm realizing that the memory of that quiet boy is still very different from the full-grown man across from me. ready to point out when I'm being an asshole, which is right now. I sigh. Yeah, and yeah, I do owe you an apology for how things went down back then, and for being pissy about it just now. I can tell you what happened since then. I owe you that much. I just don't know where to start. Then start at the beginning. It's a tall order. I try to collect myself, drinking deep from and then staring down the black well of my coffee. I guess it all goes back to, I don't know if you really saw all of the things that went with Mom getting sick. I mean, pretty bad from what I remember. Yeah, she was, out of it. So of course that was the focus for me and Dad. Why wouldn't it be? And of course, when she was getting worse, he focused on her more. Yeah, it kinda sucked being a bit of an afterthought, but even as a kid, I got it, But after she passed, after we had to move down to the well, it was like he never really came back, never really noticed me again. But then a year later 10 months later he remarried, and I still missed her and everything I thought I had. His wife had kids, Dad loved her and loved her kids, and I was also there, like a reminder, like a ghost haunting the living. So yeah, I left. I'm not saying it was right or smart. It was pretty fucking stupid considering how things turned out. But it's what I did. Oh, Ash. But why did you stop answering? I would have helped. My folks would have helped. The answer slipped out before I can stop it. Because I wanted to disappear. God, I don't even know. I don't know. Every way I tried to explain it would sound insane. It was like if I had already dwindled into nothing, I had to start over. I had to be somebody else, somebody completely new, no matter what it cost. And that was also when I was going through some gender stuff, which probably didn't help. I gestured down at myself. Guess you noticed. The edge of his mouth quirked slightly. I might have. Well, you always were sharp. There's something nearly approaching a smile. Is it offensive or anything if I say I can kind of see it in retrospect? Maybe, maybe not. But if it is, then just this once, I'll let it slide. That gets an actual laugh out of him. Okay, so what then? Then, I don't know, bounced around, didn't finish high school, obviously. Had a few shitty jobs, sometimes had a home, sometimes was on the streets. Mostly that second one. Disappearing wasn't exactly as daring and romantic as I thought it'd be. Mostly, it just sucked. And by the time I'd figured that out, it felt like too much time had passed. So, that's me, I guess. I am sorry, but it's been a ride. Jesus. I'm so sorry, Ash. I don't really know how to respond to that. I end up just nodding awkwardly. It is what it is. It sucks, but that's all years ago now. Even more years for Julian. I'm reminded with a ting of nausea. I'm as used to it as I'm gonna get. What about you? It's been forever. And I want to know what you've been up to, too. It's almost I'm almost a little surprised to find that I mean it. Well, not really as much to come by. Well, not really as much to say by comparison, I guess. I finished up high school. Mom and Dad do pretty alright for themselves. But the Polytechnic was never going to be in the cards, obviously. I did at least end up staying another 2 years from my advanced studies certificate. Quantitative, the usual. Should have just saved my money on that front, honestly. Didn't really open as many doors as I thought it would. So, I bounced around jobs for a year or two, scraped together some savings. Between that, loans, and Mom and Dad helping, I ended up getting Gen 2's installed. My eyes widen. I'm not really sure why. It's about what I would expect, given his background. Just something about the thought of him laying down on the operating table as they cut into him. Huh. So, what do you do with them these days? I run sanitation drones. It's nothing too glamorous, but it's been steady work. I was actually looking for one that had gone dark when I found you. The reminder that he's the one that found me stirs some complicated feelings that I'm not ready for. Actually, about that, I did find that drone I was looking for right near you. But it wasn't broken or powered down or anything. I can't really explain what happened or how it got there, besides some 1 in a million glitch. You're sure you can't remember anything leading up to when we found you? Suddenly, a flash of recollection. The dark of night, climbing that chain link fence with terrible certainty, with terrible intent. Oh god. Yeah? Shit, no. I'm not going there with him. I really can't remember what happened, I'm sorry. Oh, he's hiding things from us. No. Oh. My heart's pounding. Did he notice? Surely he didn't. Well, maybe you'll have some medical records the clinic can pull up. Looked like you were wearing a hospital gown or something. It was just a generic brand when I checked. Maybe? Anyway, what about those other guys back at the house? You all seem pretty close. Oh, God. I guess you didn't even get their names, huh? Yeah, I think they've all been around for at least a few years. Where do I even start? I get to choose, huh? Alright, let's talk about Amir. Oh, was that him? Okay, let me... Who is that big guy? The Wolverine. Oh, you mean Amir. Yeah, way back when I got the Gen 2s installed, we ended up being in some of the same physical therapy and rehab groups afterwards. We ended up hitting it off pretty well, and of course we were both gonna work in the same area, so... When we were both looking for housemates around the same time, it just made sense. Poor guy. He's had the most rotten luck of anyone I know. He got messed up bad at work like a year and a half ago. Can't even use the Gen 2s anymore. Well, he said he tried once out of desperation and just started seizing and vomiting immediately. Jesus. Yeah. God, I was so pissed at him after that. There's some lingering pain issues too. He has some pretty bad days sometimes. Works as a cook at this bar nearby where he's been fighting to get some kind of compensation for what happened. It hasn't been going great. The job or the fight. Either. And that's before the more recent stuff. You can thank him for the clothes. They were Derek's. Yeah, so Derek is Amir. Yeah, I was trying to remember his name earlier when I was talking about it. Who's the cougar? Oh, Alex? You don't recognize him? Should I? Maybe not. He went to our high school, but I guess we didn't really start hanging out until senior year. We both stuck around to get our advanced certificates. He's a smart guy, believe it or not. He actually got into Megado Polytechnic afterwards. No shit. Yeah, but the cost ended up not really being sustainable, even with the loans he was able to get. Had to leave after one semester. I never really got all the details, but it's a sore subject. Anyway, we sort of drifted in and out of contact a bit. Ended up reconnecting more around when I was looking to rent a place. He works for a marketing firm these days. Definitely the life of the party. Always seems to know people. I've never seen him on the job, but I bet he's pretty good at it. Last month he got us into this warehouse rave down in the well. You ever been to one of those? No. Yeah. But yeah, good dude, easy to get along with. What about that cat? Real skinny guy. Well, I mean, non-binary actually. Goes by they, but yeah, that'd be Lark. We met in the exchange around when I was doing my advanced certificate when he glances around nervously, making sure nobody can overhear. Around when I started getting involved in jailbreaking instances. Wait, seriously, you? Aren't those all just for, like, weird porn and stuff that they don't let you do on official instances? No, I mean, yes, there is that, but it's not like that. It's... I can't even explain it. It's art. It's freedom. It's the most incredible medium that's ever been created, and most of the time we just use it for nothing. Like, who cares if you can simulate a steak or a soccer game you couldn't afford to see live? Huh, where was this level of passion back in high school? So, you're not allowed to simulate certain things. Is it implying that you're not allowed, because he's saying, like, is it implying that you're not allowed to, like, you're not allowed to simulate a soccer game because they would want you to pay for it? Interesting. So, you're an artist these days, I guess. I mean, I guess. So's Lark, like I said. That's sort of how we met. They were incredibly talented. There's a bit of a community for that sort of thing. Just don't ask about their day job. That's also in the exchange, but in official instances. They simulate concerts, kind of a rotating list of popular bands. There's some boy band they've had to do for the last couple months that they're sick to death of. They simulate concerts, that's so cool. That is totally the thing I would be doing. I would... So, okay, so this makes me think now that, like, people go to the real concert that actually happens. They somehow... This is like the future of tape. Like, this is like the future of taping. Like, they bring in, like, some sort of thing to tape the concert, but not in an audio way. Like, they somehow record it so that they can re-simulate it to other people in the future. And it's honestly awesome to think about. Music is the thing that I love a lot. So I love when music gets, like, brought up in, like, stories and stuff like that. Whoops. Grim. Yeah. Anyway, they're a good friend. They just can be a bit of an acquired taste. Uh-huh. Well, you'll see what I mean, I guess. But they're a good person. I can vouch for that. However much that means to you. Wait, who's Derek? You said these are Derek's clothes? Was he not around yesterday? I was wondering. It didn't look like anybody there was my size. And I'm surprised you just had a spare interface lying around. No, Ash, he's Amir's boyfriend. Or he was. I don't know. About 2 months ago, he went missing. Not a word to us or Amir. Nothing to his family. Nothing in the morgues. We searched high and low. It's like he just vanished into thin air. Like he just disappeared. Like I did. Yeah, I'm glad Ash seems to be making the same connection, because I definitely am thinking that Derek seemed to have done something similar that Ash did. That's awful. I'm so sorry. He was a good friend, kind in a way you don't normally see. But I feel worse for Amir. They were good together. He just hasn't been the same since. Anyway. Oh, it's such a cool piece of art. Look how cool it is. It's so cool. The rest of the meal passes in relative quiet. I'm not sure how to feel about wearing a dead man's clothes, if that's what happened, anyway. Well, it's a hard world. People go missing sometimes. Not all of them get found. We are waiting for the bill when Julian speaks up again. Hey, I just wanted to say this was nice. As wild as this whole situation is, I really am glad you're back. I've missed this. I remember the two of us at a diner not terribly unlike this one, years and years ago. 2 or 3 a.m. maybe, talking about nothing, but really talking about everything. Yeah. So, you still keep up with the guitar? God, suddenly remembering the whole garage band era. Oh geez, I haven't thought about that in a million years. Not really, if I'm being honest. It was alright, but I don't think music was ever really my thing when you get down to it. I guess I'd say I've kind of found different outlets since the exchange stuff and all. Oh. What about you? Keep up with the, God, I'm an asshole, sorry. Was it Taekwondo? Boxing, and well, I've had a lot else going on. Oh, right. The awkwardness that we'd momentarily defeated descends once more. It was a stupid subject to bring up. We're not kids anymore, and I realize that. In most ways that matter, I really don't know the man in front of me. Mercifully, the check arrives. He pays, of course, and we head out. The sidewalk narrows enough that we can walk side by side. Julian's a tall man, and it's easy to fall behind his long strides. I'm light on my feet, and there's plenty of noise around us. I could slip away in an instant. Please don't. Please don't. He's one of those characters that feels like he doesn't deserve anything from anyone, so he's just like, I need to disappear and go away. It's very tragic. Also, that whole scene with them talking in the diner was really good. It was really fun to read biggest quotes ever voice. I also like this. I like how the background is fading and it's like he's actually walking. I don't need to suffer as charity. I don't need to be known. I could just as easily be a ghost story, a specter that returned for a day and a night and was never seen again. I did it once. I can do it again. It would be easy. We are drawing close to a narrow alleyway. I can feel the ground under my feet, keenly conscious of each individual step. I can feel the cool air on my face. I can feel what's coming for me if I walk forward. The pain and failure and sorrow are as certain as being born. I don't want it. I don't want to be hurt. And yet, fool that I am, as heavy laden as I've grown with the weight of my mistakes, I prepare to make one more. The alley passes by, and my feet carry me forward. The clinic's waiting room is cramped, but clean. Check-in goes without incident, and it's apparently a slow day, since the wait is only 2 hours or so. Of course, the waiting room's full of other people, so I don't think either of us really feel like picking up our conversation from the diner. We do make some small talk, but after a while, Julian just sits back in his chair and gets involved with something or other on his interface. I start plowing through some old magazines, but sneak the occasional glance at him, eyes flicking occasionally to read or track something that I can't see. Something about it raises my hackles. Whatever is on there can't be more important than what's actually around him. I do eventually relent and plug my borrowed. I do eventually relent and plug my borrowed interface into the port at the back of my skull, briefly catching up on the news over the last 2 years. Every individual headline seems like the end of the world, but I don't get the impression that anything's really changed. Go figure, I guess. Finally, they call my name. Well, good luck. I'll be waiting out here. Thanks. The arm, at least, is straightforward enough. They end up touching up the sealant in places, but it's expected to heal normally. Mentioning that I'm missing 2 years of my life, however, gets a more alarmed reaction. A few harried assistants ferry me around from one test to another. I sit, stand, raise my arms, lower them, and have a variety of scans and measurements taken. They even have me enter the exchange for a while. It's a pretty simple test instance, and they seem satisfied with my ability to navigate it. Still, then they want me to submit to a full body scan, and it's another wait before I can lay back in the machine, fluorescent lights uncomfortably bright above as I'm fed into it. Finally, I'm sat in an exam room, fingertips drumming on my thigh. I don't know what I'm more afraid of, that they're going to tell me that my brain is rotting from the inside out, or that I made the whole thing up. I get the customary knock without waiting for a response as someone finally enters. Should I do like a Ash Kahlberg, right? Ash Kahlberg, right? Yeah, that's me. She stares into the middle distance for a moment, presumably going through my file. Well, you've got quite a lot going on. We've only got 15 minutes, so let's get to it. Things are looking about as good as can be with the arm. Keep an eye out for any discoloration. Don't pick at the sealant. I'm guessing you'd rather spend our time on the other issues? Yeah. So, just a review. You woke up late yesterday. As far as you can tell, you have no recollection of the last 2 years, but otherwise, no other cognitive memory-related symptoms. That's about the speed of it, yeah. I'll be honest with you, the symptoms you're describing are incredibly unusual, and I think you're going to be on a long road to a diagnosis. You mentioned waking up, wearing a hospital gown, but I'm afraid nothing came up in the medical records for you over the past 2 years. As far as the test results, your brain is fine. Higher than expected baseline activity even on the sections where you were meant to relax, but you've been through a lot. I definitely wasn't thinking much during those parts. I'm still kind of tired and the break was nice, if anything. Well, whatever. So, we can rule out the most directly physical causes. Your blood work all came back pretty normal, too. I'm seeing you have a hormonal regulator installed, which seems to be working fine. Your exchange port, on the other hand. It's important to understand, issues on that front are very, very rare, outside of damage to the hardware itself. We see Gen 2 issues fairly regularly, of course. It's newer technology, it's massively higher physical and cognitive throughput, and so on, but that's obviously not relevant to your case. So I was kind of right. So like the Gen 2 are like the next ports, and then like I guess Gen 1 are the normal ones? Or maybe people are born without them, and then the Gen 2s are added, like you put them on afterwards. So I think maybe that's actually something I haven't thought of yet. Maybe Julian is unique. Like Julian and Amir are unique as they got him installed after the fact. But you don't usually, because I was kind of, when I first saw him in the title screen, it made me think that everyone had them. But I think, or probably Lark does too. So yeah. And of course Ash has them too. But the Machine 2 though thought form exchange is much older, much more thoroughly tested and iterated on technology, to tell you the truth. We really only run those diagnostics as a formality. And yours came back strange. My throat tightens. Strange how? Well, that's the tough part. You passed all the basic functionality checks, but there's no reason to expect you shouldn't be able to use it. But really, the test we run is just asking the implant to return any self-diagnostic codes and pulling up what we've got from Hearth and corresponding to the codes. Either it's able to return a code that we look up, or it returns nothing and we know it's just dead, which is at least a pretty simple problem to diagnose. Yours is the first case I'm aware of where what we got back was junk data, not interpretable, which I'd usually guess to mean that it's a slightly different kind of dead, except you passed the basic functionality test. When they had you in the exchange for those tests, you didn't feel anything unusual, right? No worsening or symptoms? No, nothing. So we at least don't have any reason to believe the exchange usage itself is a risk. I can feel an itching at the back of my neck. I want to get up and pace and knock things over like a wild animal. What the hell is this supposed to mean? Okay, so you were talking about standard diagnostic codes, right? So exchange implant problems happen. So we can just change it out for a new one, right? Or hell, take it out of me entirely. The overwhelming majority of the time, those codes are resolved with the software update, not relevant in your case, since you're current. Otherwise, it's usually just damage to external, replaceable sections of the hardware. I have to stress again, this is extremely well-tested, safe technology. Cognitive effects like what you're suffering from are practically unheard of, and, of course, the external parts wouldn't be relevant to that. As far as removing it, presuming you got it in elementary school as standard, you're talking about something that's been fully integrated into major sections of your brain through many major developmental stages. Okay, so that line that you got in elementary school as standard makes me think that maybe people do always, everyone gets one, but not everyone gets Gen 2s. Gen 2s come later. The damage and the resulting effects of removing it would be catastrophic. The procedure exists, but there isn't a medical ethics board in Megiddo that would approve it outside of a case of life or death. So I'm just stuck with this? For the present, you seem to be stable, so let's hope that persists. Okay. The sentence confused me a little bit. For the present, you seem to be stable, so let's hope that persists while we look at next steps. The other possibility, to cover all our bases, is that the implant issues are unrelated and we're dealing with a case of dissociative amnesia. On that front, there's little we can do outside of therapy supporting your adjustment through this period and hoping that you begin to recover your memory and experience reduced symptoms with time. So we probably want to hit both fronts, get you set up with a therapist, and then also refer your case to a specialist that may be able to better address the exchange port issues. That sound good? Yeah, sure. Okay, let's see. She gets that distant look again as she presumably reads the schedule. As far as a therapist, we've got some openings in September. For the specialist, we're probably looking at January next year. The blood drains from me. You can't be serious. She looks at me. She's sympathetic. And I wonder just how many versions of this exact conversation she's had. This person cannot help me. I'm afraid so. Did a little too much. I'm afraid so. The sooner we can get you on the waiting list, the sooner we can get you seen. Do September 26th and January 14th work for you? Sure, whatever. The confirmation message pings in my interface. Okay, try to keep an eye on any changes and symptoms. We've got about 3 minutes left. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about? No, thanks. I'm good. Okay, then we'll see you back here in September. And good luck. Thanks. I feel they might as well have just operated on me as I amble up to the checkout counter, defeated. Hello, okay. Looks like we've got you for follow-ups on September 26th and January 14th. That all correct? Yeah. Great. So there's a few different tests we needed to bill. Your total for today is going to be 28,000 pounds points? Holy shit. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to I broke my voice there. But holy shit. I mean, I guess I don't know what inflation is in this society, but that can't be cheap. Great. So there's a few different tests we needed to bill. Your total for today is going to be 28,000 points. I blanched. Jesus, that could have been most of a month's rent. Yeah, see that. Yeah, it's that has to be expensive. I've got it. I opened my mouth to object. And do what? Go, no thanks. I'd rather just stand here and completely fuck whatever this new start is before it even begins. For what? Sorry, let me do that sentence again, because that sentence made me laugh. And do what? Go, no thanks. I'd rather just stand here and completely fuck whatever this new start is before it even begins. For what? So I close my mouth and let him pay, and I let him pay. And I follow in his wake as we head towards the exit. So, how'd it go? Well, I hope they let you get your money back on that. Hey, speaking of which, thanks. No worries, but what do you mean? They have no idea. There's some issues with my exchange implant, but they don't really know what. Can't see a specialist for it until January. Or I'm just going crazy, but not, like, in a normal way. Jesus. That sucks, I'm sorry. It is what it is. The walk afterwards is quiet, and of course, I realize we're heading back to his house. Hey, you've already done a lot for me, and I'm grateful. I really am, but you don't, I'm up and moving. I can get going and figure things out. Ash, you don't have anywhere to go. You said as much. At least wait for long enough to figure out what's next, okay? There's no room for an argument to squirm through. No, not any good ones anyway, I sigh. Alright, well, thanks again. It's nothing. I pause as we get to the door. Is it alright if I just take a nap? I think I'm still a bit out of it. Yeah, there's gonna be folks downstairs for a while, so just use my room. I'm gonna be busy anyway. I need to talk to them about something. Alright, well, I'll see you in a bit then. See you later. Mercifully, I don't end up encountering anyone else on the way up to Julian's room. The couch was fine, but I think I could use just about cry with relief at the prospect of sleeping in an actual bed. What a fucking day. My shoulders slump a bit as the door closes behind me. I'm half tempted to just collapse into my bed with my clothes, but I at least take the time to pull off my outerwear. There's no hood on the jacket, unlike the other one Julian was wearing. Guess he just likes the look, what with the antlers and all. Now that I think about it, I can see a few scratches they must have left in the headboard. This world just isn't built for you, huh, Julian? I get that feeling. My eyes wander from the bed, and I can't help but look around. Unsurprisingly, Julian's room is kept neat. I guess some things don't change. In the same vein, I can see a few pre-Exodus prints and photos hung up. But then, a few look off. I walk closer, curious. It takes me a second to realize that some of these must be pictures taken in the exchange. My gaze flicks from one to the next. Julian's imagination lingers on the natural world pre-Exodus, but isn't limited to it. Impossible landscapes stretch across the small prints. Just who have you been growing into all these years apart? There's a few pictures of Julian's family and the other housemates on the dresser. One catches my eye, and my brow furrows as I pick it up. Aw, that's such a good image. Oh, but it's Derek, isn't it? Is he a jackal? A bunny jackal? That must be him then, Derek. Poor guy. Him and the Wolverine Amir. It was one thing just to hear about him from Julian, but knowing that I'm wearing his clothes, there is something deeply uncomfortable about seeing him, and remembering Julian's sadness when talking about him. I don't want to think about this right now. I sigh and put the picture back down. It's not like there's anything I can do for him. And I won't be able to do anything for myself if I don't get some rest either. I shed my remaining clothes and crawl into Julian's bed, pulling the covers over me. Bone-deep weariness hits me all at once. The faint whir of the air conditioning is a relief in its mundanity. I breathe out slowly and let it pull me under. Okay, as much as I would love to continue playing this, I think this is where I'm gonna wrap up. I think this is a good place to stop and wrap up here. And hope you guys enjoyed. I have no idea, because this game, I guess I didn't really mention this in the last episode. Nope, that's not what I want to do. I'm just gonna use my mouse. I didn't really mention this in the last episode, but this visual novel isn't finished. It's only on build 3 right now, but it's pretty far, like the builds aren't that small. So eventually we are gonna get to a point where it will just end and I'll have to wait for a new update. But for now, let's hope that that is further away than sooner. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I will see you in the 3rd episode.